Hello everybody, Thorgal here, and welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 4. I am a little bit frustrated when it comes to this jetpack here. Yes, it is super fast and the hover is true and everything, but it's just too fast for me. It's crazy when I'm trying to place a block or something and you just zoop zoop, you know, just one little tap. Look how far you move. Just as quick as I can press the button. And it's just it's driving me crazy. I don't know how else to say it. So, I found out that apparently there was some changes made to mystical agriculture, and this tinker's table is now craftable. And then I found right here, right here, flight augment. And this is how you craft it. So we just gotta kill 4 withers real quick. That's no problem. We did this the other day in the mining dimension. But I also need a chest plate to put that on. So I figured, you know what? We're gonna go for the Supremium. Because this drawer was full. You guys know. Oh, I'm growing the blaze right now. So this is running again. Because it's free fuel for the Botania mana. But I just put a couple thousand of the essences in the system. And I also taught the system how to make all these chest plates here. And once I made this biggest one, I'm gonna reuse these patterns. There's no use to keep them, right? And if I try to craft the last one, it tells me missing this one, right? So I gotta craft them in order, and I'm just gonna do the... Oh, I gotta make a diamond chest plate first. Here we go. Ooh, gotta make diamonds. Let's make some real quick. 21. Alright, that's good enough for now. Alright, and I'm just gonna stand down here, so whenever this is out of... Well, right now I obviously don't need a lot. But when I get to the higher ones and I run out of the... Oh, I gotta make this one first. What do you mean it's missing? It's right there. You're killing me. Okay, so I learned these patterns for nothing. That's fine. I'm gonna just do this by hand then, I guess. So I need 2 and 2. So if I do add mystical agriculture, oh man, I got so many patterns in here. So I need 2 of these and 2 of these. Okay, and now I should be able to craft it if I put this in here by hand. There we go. All right. And then for this one, I need 2 of these and so on. You guys see it. So I'm just going to go ahead and craft all this stuff up. I don't want to have to mess around with picking up these items today. So I made an obsidian chest and this ender hopper. Both made with obsidian. And I want to see if that possibly doesn't break when this wither spawns, right? So wait a second. Yes, okay. So let's go ahead and kill the first one together real quick. And... God, I hope... Well, I can turn it down real quick now. So it's not so loud. Alright, come on. Let me slaughter you. Alright, it doesn't break it, so that's good. Okay, it picked up the items, it just didn't pick up the experience, but that one comes to me. So that's good. So I'm gonna kill 3 more. So we have our 4 nether stars. We got an enchanted voodoo puppet. Prevention of withering. This item can only be used by unlocking the perk voodoo puppet. What was the key binding for that right here? I don't have any points right here, so if I reset right now, it wouldn't matter because I could only give out 4. So I just have to wait. Okay. We'll have to look into that. But let's go ahead and make this augment. Because I have never played with this tinkering table. Zoop, it's right down here. Okay, so first... Let's do this. Oh, look, a wandering trader. Really? Okay, I didn't even look at the trades. Feather falling 5, stable footing. Isn't that the one I have? Yes, that's the one I have. Alright. Let's make this thing. And the tinkering table we are gonna put also down here. Let's put it in the same spot. That right there. Alright, so how does this work here? Put you here? What do you mean it's locked? Now it shows flight. Now it doesn't. Okay. Alright. Flight. Oh my god. Yes! Yes! Normal creative flight. Oh, I am so happy now. Okay, I'm gonna keep this with me just in case I ever need it. But that is nice. I'm also gonna put this in... Let's put it there so I don't forget about it. Very nice. So, that makes me happy. And... It's raining again. It's been raining every day. And I want to test something else here real quick. No fall damage. That's what I was expecting to happen. Okay, and cosmetic armor. Is there a way? Yes, we can turn off the armor. I wanted to do this for a while anyway. I don't really like showing armor because it looks kind of derpy. And I like my skin. Just giving these a couple of these blaze meshes because they burn for so long. They only put in like 5, maybe 10 at a time. And it's crazy how long they last. And they give you a lot of mana. But anyway, let's get started with our first automation. This is just a quality of life thing that some of you might think is overkill. But it's still a fun little project that I want to set up. So I made 2 of these auto clickers here. We have... I don't think we've made them yet. Yeah, Grok made those. But I want to automate our petal apothecary. I don't want to have to mess with this anymore. And we're gonna put this here. Okay. So, the first thing we're gonna have to figure out is how to fill it with water. Okay, so we are going to put a sink right here. We're gonna put 1 auto clicker here. And now let's put 1 auto clicker here. I'm gonna have to figure out how to place this. Maybe like this. Yes, okay. I gotta have this thing pointing at me, right? And we're gonna set this to once every 20 ticks. So once a second this clicks, so this shouldn't cause any stress on the server, and it should be fast enough. So then we're gonna need 2 of these red connectors. 1 here, 1 there. And this one over here connecting does not matter. That is south. So let's just disconnect this one here. And we're gonna call this one fill bucket. And this one back here, we don't need it facing in the north, so we can disconnect. Okay, apparently it doesn't show that anymore, but it doesn't matter. And we're gonna call this one empty. That is misleading. Let's just call this... Now we can remember it. Empty bucket. This is what I want to do, the action. Okay, and then we're gonna hide this guy. I need power for it. Right there. And we're gonna set this controller on the top. Okay, so... Oh yes, of course, I need a cable. A connector. Come on. Right, aha, now it updated. Okay, so I just needed a block update for that to be shown. So let's make this one here an item channel. And make this one an item channel. And then this one here is the fill bucket. So on the fill bucket, I want to insert only empty buckets. And on the same channel, I'm going to extract from this one empty buckets. And then on the other channel, it's just reversed. We're going to extract full buckets from the one where we're filling it. And here we're gonna insert, again, only full buckets. So now what will happen is, if I put an empty bucket in here, you guys heard it for a second, it came over here, it filled it, sent it back here, filled the petal apothecary, and then it filled the bucket again. So now we have a full bucket waiting in here for whenever we need it. And now we can put... Ah, okay. Oh, we can place it. I did in my testing find out that if I put the crate right here, this open crate, items do not fall down. I'm guessing it has to do with that this is actually a little bit bigger. Show you guys what I mean. You guys see it's taller than a block. So even though you can place blocks above it, the crate just cannot drop them in. That makes sense. Right. So now we got this. And so on top of that, I think we're gonna add the hopper right there. You cannot pump directly into it. I tried it. Excellent does give the items to this, but it doesn't drop it. Ah, but I didn't have it 2 blocks above it. You know what? Let's test it. Let's see. Maybe it actually does work. Now, where do I want this chest to be? I want this chest to be right there. Yes, so I put my items in. Let's test it. So now I'm gonna need another item. Create. We're gonna extract from this one and... Ah, yes. Oh, no. I still have to set this up. Duh. There we go. And we are inserting into this one. So now let's see if it drops a seed. It did. Okay, so actually don't need the hopper. All right, good. So now what we can do is, for example, let's search for petal. We're just gonna make one, it doesn't matter. I forgot how many of each we needed. I think we needed... Did we need two red or 2 brown? Let's check here. We needed 2 brown. And then 1 light. Alright, so now what I can simply do is come over here, put my petals in. Oh, done. So now I don't need to do any of this by hand anymore with the water bucket, the clicking and so on. And I really like it. And later when we have the hopper hawk, we are going to set up another chest here. Because we're in 114, if I shift left click, they don't connect. And then we can put a hopper hawk back here. So whenever there's something gets made, it should be inserted into. Now I have to test if the hopper hawk might pick up the items that are falling down. So that might be a problem, but we'll figure this out. You know what? I mean, I don't think I'm going to fully automate it, meaning teaching it recipes for flowers. So I think what we can do is just make it so when I actually want to make something, I just come here, drop off the items, boom, pick up the flower. Like a hopper hawk and so on. So that's a little nice automation here. I'm happy to have this done now. I don't need to mess around with figuring out... I gotta put water in, and then when it's done, put in the bucket, the seed and so on. It's just, like I said, a quality of life little thing, and that's it. Okay, this is a little bit risky because Grok had problems with this before, but I would like to... I don't know how to cover this up to make it look better. But I just want to test it if I can right-click. It does work. I wonder if it was an update or what it was. Let's go ahead and change it to this lantern. Can I cover you up? Yes, I can. Okay. And then we can use this one. And I can even go into there. All right, good. So, well, it's as good as I can cover this up. And hopefully I don't get that tessellating block issue. You know what? I should really put another stair here. like that. So I just come over here, I put in my items, it gets created, and I can pick it back up. There's a little bit of a problem with this setup here, and it had to do with the RF Tools facades. And that was that this machine, the controller, kept forgetting the top. All right, it used to be the crate directly here. So everything else worked. It never forgot anything down here, always just the crate. And I only found out about it because I broke the setup earlier because I was placing these blocks and so on, so I had to set it up again, and I noticed that this was missing. So it would have not worked. And then I did some tweaking and so on, and then, like I said, I found out that it must be the facades. It's the only thing. It hasn't broken since then. Even when I break the cables, break the controller, it keeps remembering that. But first I changed this one out for hopper down here. Thinking that maybe going directly into the crate that was a problem, but that was not the problem. And yeah, just keep that in mind. I'm not going to use facades because it keeps breaking apparently. Maybe if you use it over cables it will still work, but I would not use them on the connectors for sure. And then this is the look that I came up with here with a bunch of covers trying to cover this up, you know, no pun intended. So you can barely tell that there are things, and just made it, you know, look overgrown, magic-y and so on, and I like it, and it still works now. So if we put an item in here, let's just put a living rock. You heard the splash just now, and it's in. So that's good, and this is the only part that you can see. Yeah, I cannot put a cover here. No, that wouldn't make any sense. No, because like then this would have to be something else but a stair. But anyway, so it works. I could put a half slab in here or two, but it doesn't really matter. So now, the next thing that I want to do here is we're going to need to make another mana pool. And we need to make another spark. Because we still need to set up the runic altar. Because I don't want the runic altar to stay over here, right? There's no room for automation here. So I want to put the automation underneath here. Okay, we're going to just hollow this out, make it bigger. But I got to get the mana to the runic altar over here. So I figured we're going to put that, again, it's odd, not even, which stinks, but it's fine. Maybe we'll put it right here. So we can have the clicker underneath it, but then I still need to have clickers to the next. Yeah, that's just what we're going to have to do with. There's nothing I can do. So let's put the thing here. And we got to get the mana over here. So I want to put a mana pool right there. And now we're going to set this guy to fill this mana pool. Okay, later on we're going to do all this with sparks, of course, but I don't have them yet. And then we're going to set another one on top of this. Come on, hello. And we're going to aim that down to the runic altar. Now let's see if it is. Okay, I got to get rid of the stairs here. Yeah, now it's showing the runic altar. I do want to put something here because this looks weird now. You know what? Let's change this. Why don't we put this instead of out there? Come on. We'll put that mana pool right there. And then we'll put the spreader on top of it. Oh, or in front of it. That works even better. To here. And now it should show. Yes, it is shooting into there. Good. Now I can put... Oh, I already removed the stair earlier. So let's put the stair again. And now I'm going to go ahead and hollow this out underneath it and give myself a bunch of room. And then we are going to bring over... Or I'm just going to do this because we did the last episode just like we did down here. I don't want to run cables over here because that's going to look real silly because I can't really cover them up. I'm going to make another one of the network transmitters and network transceivers. And we're just going to use that instead. Okay. And I guess I don't need to hollow out too much. I can do that from underneath first. But this is 2x4. Oh, yeah. By the way, I changed out this here as well. The flooring. I didn't mention that earlier. Because, I don't know, it looked weird. this dark prismarine in there and so on. I don't want to use too much prismarine. There's a lot here, right? With the broken one now regular, not the bricks, to make it look a little bit different. But anyway, so let me go ahead and dig down right here. But in order to help me this, I forgot as well. We're going to make a magnet now from Botania. So we're going to need 4 of this mana lens. So I'm going to need 8 mana steel. I have 6 iron on me. You know what? Let's just go ahead and make 32 right now. Because we're going to need mana steel throughout this. Botania experience here, so we don't need to mess with that anymore. And let's go ahead and make this here first. Hopefully I have the glass pane. I do. Magnet. Put you in there. And then the ring. Okay. Now the ring does not work when it's just in the inventory. At least that's how it used to be. Let's give it a second. No, it doesn't. It still needs to be in your bauble slot. And bam, there I have it. And this is a decent magnet, okay? And the nice thing is that I can make solignolias. So we're going to do that later. In areas where I want to make sure that I don't pick up stuff, right? But the nice thing is now, of course, that I don't need to worry about this anymore. Flying after my items, right? So, let me go ahead and prepare this down here. And I'm going to make this considerably bigger so we have some room down here. Not really sure yet how I'm going to do this, but I'll figure it out. So I think I got everything figured out, and we're going to go through this together now. First we have to make the recipe, but of course we're not sending the runic altar. So shift-click to get rid of this, but we also need to send it a living rock. Okay, and then we'll make this a pattern. So once we have these items in the system, it will send it there. And let's go down in the basement, start here first. So here's the network receiver, there's an interface on top of it, and then the crafter. And then the crafter, we're gonna put this pattern here. So the system knows, hey, if we want to craft this, send the items to this barrel here, right? And when it's done, I still need to figure out how to pick it up. I totally did not think that one through because I thought that I will simply pull it out of the runic altar, but it pops into the world. So that means we can actually get rid of this, and then on top of that, or whatever, we'll figure out the return afterwards. Okay? Maybe put a hopper hawk on here or something, and then it will go into the system. But even if we don't have a return, I just have to come over here and pick it up. No, I need to have a return, because if we want to make other runes later, like whatever, the rune of the greed, which takes a rune of water and a rune of spring, and the spring takes water and fire. So I need to make these first if I don't have them. It used to be that when you use the, I'm gonna call them tier 1, okay, these 5 right here. Mana, air, fire, and water and earth. That you get them back. But it could be that that changed for some reason, okay? But for example, for sure, the greed, these guys right here, I think like the spring, that's a tier 2, and this is a tier 3. I don't think you get tier 2s back, but we'll figure that out, like I said. Let's just figure out the logic first. So, I have 3 clickers here. One is going to have the wand, one is going to get the items that are going to be put on here, and one is going to get that piece of living rock. Alright, I cannot put that in the same one as the items, because otherwise it will put it on there maybe first or instantly. And here's the comparator. And let's just put these items on here real quick. So you guys can see how the redstone signal travels. So this would make a fire. You guys see it turned on. And over here, the comparator sits on top of this brick, which powers this mycelium. And then down here, you guys see I get the redstone power of 1. So here I have an XNet connector that's called redstone. Here I have one called wand. So let's go ahead and put the wand in here already. And we're going to set this to every second. And here we're going to have also every second. This one is called items. And this one is called living rock. Right? These are all... Okay. So, by the way, with some testing, I couldn't input any items from underneath the altar. So it seems to only work from the sides or from above. So this works. So now we need to set up the redstone logic, meaning D is the living rock, needs to be powered. Right now, you guys see there's no redstone down in the top bottom right. It says show any redstone level. So this one needs to be powered with a redstone signal to not put the living rock in here if the signal over here is anything but 2. And the wand, we really don't need to stop from right-clicking either. But I'm still going to do it. So these 2 right here should not do anything if there is a signal that is not 2. The items one here never needs to be turned off. Just keep putting in items. It doesn't matter. Right? So let's see if we can figure this out. No, it's hard to click. There we go. All right, so let's make our 2 redstone channels over here. Let's make a logic, and then we're going to need another logic. The first one here, we're going to make it so it's always disabled, right? So I'm going to check the redstone signal here as sensor. And I'm going to say sensor mode redstone. And if it is not 2, we're going to say lock. Red for lock. Okay? And then we're going to do the same signal again. And this is a sensor redstone equals 2. And then we're going to say green. So if it's a signal of 2, we're green. If it's not 2, it's red. And while it is red, we need to come to, this is wand. This here, create output. And we're going to say redstone 15. So if it's not 2, it will lock the wand. It's kind of hard to read underneath the sink, right? It's just a display error. This one is items and this one is living rock. And we're going to do the same. By the way, you cannot copy it. You get an error. Like, let me show you here. When I click on copy, it says error. So you need to set them all up by hand. We're going to send output 15. So because now it's not 2, when we come here, you guys see on the auto click on the bottom right, power 15 and power 15, while this one doesn't have any power. Okay, and now we're going to do the same. I'm sorry. This one here, this is most important. I need to click on a red signal. If there's a red signal on this device, then do it 15 and do it 15. And now we're going to need to set up the same thing again, output, but this time on green, redstone 0. And again, output redstone 0. So, now in order to test this is the other problem, by the way, that I needed to move this down. But now this one right here, I don't think will reach the altar anymore. Let's check this. I took it off, so it stops trying to send it. What did I do? Oh, it's in here. I need to make another one. But we'll do that in a minute. No, it cannot reach it. So I would need to make a mana lens. And there's a lens that I need to check here real quick. Wait, flare, damaging, phantom. I think it's the phantom one. Okay, we can make this. This one, yes. Okay, let's go ahead and make that real quick. Okay, I think I got all the woods together now. There we go. And I still need to make the mana lens. Did I not finish it? Just did, didn't I? Okay, it's just sometimes doesn't work. All right, so now that we have this one, it should be able to shoot through blocks. So now if we check here, it shows Runic altar. So now it is powering this and it is going. So now we're not going to do anything yet because I just want to see if this one and this one actually get a redstone signal of 0. And then we're going to break the Runic altar or take the items out. It takes a minute because it's actually coming via spreader, and lenses, as far as I know, actually reduce how much you're getting here. So there's a little bit of a penalty. Let's say there's 100 mana coming. because you're using this lens, you might only get 90. There's all kinds of different things with ranges and so on. But it's fine, it's automated. Okay, yep, the redstone signal's off, 0. So now if I would, this is the items, this one is living rock. So now if I give this a stone. Oh no. Oh, I gotta give it the wand. Yes, it works. Very cool. So now what we're gonna do here is, now that this is in here, we still need to do the last step here. And that is sending the items to where they need to go. And we're gonna use this channel for it here. Item create. So from this barrel, let's do the inputs first. So this one is items, and this one is living rock. We're gonna create an insert. Only living rock here. And this is the items one. We're gonna do an insert, but a blacklist. No living rock. This one is whitelist living rock. And this one is blacklist living rock. And now I can come here and say extract. And we can leave this on single. That's fine. I'm not sending this many items. So let's go ahead and check this out. If I order another one. A fire rune. Missing. Okay. Make a redstone. Let's just make 16 of these here real quick. Done. And I should have, yeah, I have enough mana steel. So let's go ahead and do this. Fire. We have all the items. All right, you guys see it's clicking them all on here and it's starting. Why? Do you only see the progress when you have a wand? Wand here real quick. Petal, let's do red and white. Sure. What's happening? Why? All the correct items are on here. These are 15 again. So that is fine. What? How did this become untied? Alright, whatever. That's funky. But anyways, so now we just have to wait for this to stop finish again. Almost there. One more. It works. Oh yeah. Now, are you still tied? Are you kidding me right now? You always gonna be untied? How? Why? Does this have something to do with the lens? Alright, you know what? I know this is very inefficient, but I don't really care. Because soon we're gonna have spreaders, not pulls, just regular mana spreader. So if I go and say... put one up here, and we're gonna have this one point into here, and you point into there. Oops. Don't throw away your stuff. Alright, you know what? I want to test this again, because I want to see if this gets untied again. So let's teach it the next recipe, and that, let's say, so we got, let's do earth. So we don't see this comparator. Okay. So you are tied up to the runic altar, and you are tied up to the spreader. Now let's come in here and teach it this recipe. And order rune of earth. Have everything? Okay. There's the items. Alright guys, I think that this is actually faster than with that phantom lens. It's definitely faster. Okay. And I just want to make sure that they're still tied when it's done. Okay, so how's it look? Runic altar and spreader. So yeah, there's a problem with this lens apparently, that it forgets where it was tied to. So now that we have this, I can set up the other ones. And you know what? Let's go ahead and... The problem is that with a hopper hawk... Well, let's just try it. Hopper hawk. And we're gonna have to make a floaty one. So I need air, 2 dark gray, 2 light gray, and a redstone root. And then we had that seed right there. Pasture seed, flour, and dirt. Okay. And then we can make a floating hopper hawk out of that. And if we put this up here, it should... I don't know if they pull... I think they pull through blocks, if I remember right. So I'm gonna set up the other patterns here real quick, and we can test out if it works for one of the tier 2. Okay, so I taught it the Rune of Water, and then the Rune of Spring here, which requires a Rune of Water and a Rune of Fire. So we have those 2 for sure. And now, if I'm not mistaken, Rune of Spring, missing sugarcane. Really? Let's make some of this here real quick. And a Rune of Spring. Everything else it has. It needs to craft 2 of these. Okay. Alright, let's see if it does it. My biggest worry is that it's possibly sending all the items at once. No, it didn't. That is good. So it's smart enough to know it needs to craft this here first, and then once that is in the system, it should send the other items. Okay, now let's see if the hopper hawk picks it up. I picked it up. Okay, it did pick it up. So I need to put a Solignolia here, so I don't pick up any items. So, oh, and seeds. Always forget about those. And now, of course, I need to make them one at a time. So there's 2, 1, 1, 1, and really? Alright, so I got this one. Two. It's always the seed that comes to me. Alright, so we're gonna need 1 right here. We're gonna need 1 right there. And where did the third one go? Oh, did this hopper hawk pick it up? What am I doing here? No? Oh, Solignolia. Searching for the wrong thing. Yeah. Wow, that's quite a range there, Bubba. Alright, and this one we're gonna put... Let's put it here in the middle. Here in the middle. Okay. But I'm glad I made 3. I might make the floaty ones out of them so you can really see them better. But that is nice. So now we got this automated, we got the Runic Altar automated, and the magnet is done, and we cannot pick up any more stuff. That is really cool. I'm happy about this setup. Now over here, of course, I could also make it that because I am using refined storage, what I could do here is make another crafter with a barrel and bring it down here. So I could teach the system, for example, to make hopper hawks, solignolias, and stuff like that. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm a little bit worried what's going to happen with the seed. Because we got these 2 here now. But if the seed comes first, if it still works. I'm going to stand back on purpose a little bit. Let's go ahead and make another hopper hawk, because I'm pretty sure I have all the items. Of course not. Do I have it for the Solignolia? I'm missing this redstone root. Of course, I need to teach the system on how to make that stuff. Just do it this way, and Solignolia. Now, this one here doesn't need to ruin, which is fine. We have that automated. Oh, I still need to do the refined storage. Forgot about that. Okay, so we need another item right there. Create. And we are going to say this one here, insert, and this one, extract. Okay, so the seed was sitting in it. Now is this, and the hopper hog picks it up. Even though it's all the way, I think, underneath this block here. That's quite a range. Very nice. So we got both of them fully automated. That makes me happy. And I think that I'm going to add more of these, not the, the crafters down here for all the different Botania things. You know, like making this redstone root and so on. Now, of course, there's one more thing that we still need to automate as well. And that is, you know, making mana steel and making the mana pearl and mana diamond and so on. But I don't want to automate it until I have sparks, because that way I can bring, for example, we can put a mana pool like maybe in this corner, and then have the crafter with the crate above it, and it's dropping it into it, and then the hopper hawk will pick it up again. But I need to make sure that I get mana over here easier. This is really not a very efficient way of doing it, even though it looks cool seeing all the green sparks flying around and so on. So this thing right here seems to have a range of 10 blocks, by the way. I moved it from above the interface to here, because when I came up here, I noticed that the blaze blocks from right there were disappearing. It had that little poof effect and the smoke, not like when it gets picked up from the endo flames. So I checked it in the system, and they came back. So it now goes up to this row right here. So if I put my mana ring, for example, in this pool, it will also pick it up. So I gotta put one of the other three, or use one of the other three. And then the other thing I needed to do is I needed to add another crafter here, because if you guys check, every single rune is now programmed in the system. But it's way too many, right? So all the tier 1 and tier 2, so we have air, earth, fire, water, and mana. And then we have spring, summer, autumn, and winter in this one. And then in this one, this is what I call the tier 3. We have greed, sloth, envy, lust, gluttony, pride, and wrath. Okay, so they're all there. And then I added these 4 right here, and they have all the petal recipes and the redstone root. So everything is done in here. But in order to keep up with the petals, right, because we're running low, I need to set up a shaded amaranthus. And I'm going to show you guys what that does. So I made this little platform here. And I went down on purpose because with this one, we're going to harvest it, the Drum of the Wild. Okay? And what that does is it just breaks everything around it in a huge radius. And I am worried that if I put it up on this level, that it would have broken the grass and these flowers and so on. So I hope that it won't do it now. But we're going to have to test. Oh, and I made this right here. The Mana Seer Monocle. Very simple. Mana glass, by the way, you get by throwing glass into the mana pool. And what that allows me to do, where does it go? Right there. And I got a cool little monocle on. When you hover over flowers, anything you see right here now on this floating Solignolia, it shows me a radius. The same for like the endo flames. You know, how far do these flowers range? And like if we go down here, it will also show it right there. Of course, I can't see it. And it also shows you sparks and everything. So usually I take it off when I don't need it, because that way you don't see the spark through walls, right? But for right now, while we're doing Botania, we are going to keep this on. Where does it go? Right there. Sharp. All right, so let's go ahead and push down the shaded amaranth first. And let's put it... Okay. I think we're going to put it So, okay, that works okay. So we're gonna put the Drum of the Wild. I don't know, does that actually show me a radius? It does not. Okay. And in order to trigger this, you can either shoot it. Actually, we're not going to put it there. That way I can save a little bit of space. In order to trigger it, you either give it a pulse from a pulse mana spreader. It's just a mana spreader with a piece of redstone. Or you can use your... what's that gun called? Okay, I can... this is quicker this way. Because I used the index Drum of the Wild. It is the Mana Blaster. So if you shoot it with a Mana Blaster, it will also harvest. Okay, so we're actually going to put this... right... let's put it right there. We don't need that much. And we put this down, and we'll tie it to there. Oh, you can't tie them. Okay. Wait, what is this set to? Bind mode, yeah? Okay. And then on top of this, we're going to put a chest. And I think the chest we're going to put right here in the middle. And then we're going to put a floating hopper hawk on top of that. And that shows you also the huge pickup range. Now you guys can see it. It doesn't look like 10. It doesn't look like 10 at all. So why is the one in the basement so much further? It is underneath this. It was underneath this block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It picked it up from here. It doesn't matter. It works now. So now everything that gets broken here will go picked up by the... Oh, wait a second. Does that... We'll see. Okay, so now I got to give this mana, and I don't want to really run a mana... I don't want to really run it down here via a mana spreader, right? Because we don't need that much. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change this from tablet to pool. And now I can toss my ring in here and let this fill up a little bit. And then it goes in here. Oh. Can we just not have stuff be picked up for a minute? I know that I could use item frames to whitelist and blacklist items depending on what I set it to. Alright, that's half a mana pool. That's gonna last me a lifetime probably. Okay, now we can put this one back up here. And so now the thing is... Why are you not... Okay, so I just needed to tie it because I put the flower down first before the mana pool. And you guys see? It's just generating us flowers now. In that area that we see right here. And now, if I want to trigger this to be harvested, and I'm going to take my magnet off for right now. You can either just give it a manual redstone pulse, this mana spreader, so it fires a little bit of mana in here. But that's not something I want to do, right? And we're going to go with the Botania way. We're going to use the hovering hourglass. And I don't really need to have the lever. Let's go ahead and put that up here. And it shouldn't do anything because it doesn't have anything in it, right? And then there is different types that we can give it. Alright, there's a search bar down here. When I started typing, it came here. Hovering hourglass. Alright, so there's 3 different types we can give it. We can give it sand, red sand, or soul sand. And I think sand is a second, red sand is 5 seconds, and soul sand is 10 seconds. Something like that. It doesn't tell us here. Ah, but when you right-click it with a 1 or the force, you can lock it. Sand can't be added or removed just in case someone right-clicks it on accident. So dropping... Okay, but it doesn't tell me how many seconds. But we're just gonna go here with sand. Okay? 32, actually, let's go with 30 because I think that's going to be 30 seconds. And it's gonna run through here very slowly. Yeah, that looks about like 30 seconds. And then when it gets to the end, it will flip over and give a redstone signal to this. You guys see the redstone right there. It's on both sides, so it's like a pulse, which is really convenient. And are you just done now? No, okay. And then it will harvest all these flowers for us. So it should happen here in just a few seconds. Boom. And it doesn't even do all of them because the horn of the drum of the wild only does a certain amount. So let's go ahead and shift right click this out and let's just go with 15 seconds for now. And it put them all in here. Okay. And so if I want to disable this whole system, I can simply just take the sand out and put it in the chest and be done with it, right? Can I reach it from here? Okay, we don't need this anymore. And I should not pick up any flowers from up here. Oh, I just missed it. All right, but you guys see? And that's how we're going to get our flowers now. Waiting for 1 rune of mana to be made so we can make 1 more item today. And I just love watching the process. I haven't played in Botania in quite some time because it was just so... I don't want to say overused, but it was just so heavily used. Also by me, because it's just such a good mod. Especially when you build, like with the dirt stick, that's what I call it. It's called Rod of the Lands, I think, or something like that. You know, endless dirt combined with a dank null or some other voiding system. But it's really nice to play with the mod again, especially when you automate. I never really enjoyed clicking the thing here by hand, so that's really cool. And I wanted to also mention that this one was a quarter full. A ring or a mana tablet is half a pool, and we put in half of the ring, so it was about a quarter full, and it's almost done empty now. It's probably going to last another 10 minutes at least. And check it out. We got all the flowers in the world. So that is really cool, and I'm going to empty this here between episodes and put it all in the system so we can make all the petals we want. But there's one more thing I want to make today, and that is the Mana Blaster, because it is a really cool way of lighting up your base. And that's what I needed the Rune of Mana for here. There we go. So we got a Mana Blaster, and that by itself just shoots a Mana Spark. Okay? And it takes it from my ring. It does damage mobs, and it has a little bit of a cooldown. Oh, check it out. Now I have the blue bar on the bottom. What happened to my levels? Must have been because I switched dimensions or something. But we can also, for example, trigger this thing. Sorry, wrong one. This one. See? So that's the same as if I would shoot a pulse spreader, right? But that's not what I want it for. There's a lot of lenses you can make. And we're probably going to make quite a few of them throughout the series to play with them. But I want to make this flash lens here. And there we go. And by default, I believe we're putting it together like this. Yes. There's also, I think, a clip. Lens clip. Yeah, I actually don't know what this one is used for. Oh, we cannot make it yet. We need Dreamwood. Not really sure if you can have multiple lenses on there so we can switch it. Alright, but anyway, so this is how you put it together. Now I have the Mana Lens flash on here. And if I shoot that, it puts a little, by default, green spark right there. Now, I am not sure what kind of lighting I want. I think I want something orangey. Like this has a lot of orange in it, and the glowstone has it well, and our leaves over there, and so on. So I think when we do this, we can take it back out. And do we have orange dye? Yes, we do. Go ahead and color this lens. And then put it back on here. And now if we shoot it, yes, that's what I want. Perfect. I really like the thing. It's not so... because it has this cooldown. If you guys check it, this is where I wanted to come over. If you guys look real quick, you guys see how on the toolbar where the blaster is. If I hit it, you guys see there's like a little bit of a recharge, so you cannot spam it. I can only shoot it once, and then you just need to wait a second. Oh boy, where did this just go? Is this actually? I need to check. It doesn't get stuck on the trees, on the leaves. No. Okay. So that's not what I wanted, but we could get ourselves, let's say, some dirt here. And then I can, let's see, put the dirt here. And then have it there, and then I can just break the dirt. So apparently, it now needs a solid block. Maybe that's just not working as intended, because it used to get stuck on trees. Right? And it looks a little flashy from here, but when you get somewhat out of render distance... Oh no, it's still... They used to not show up when you're far away. There we go. Now it's not rendered. And if I get closer again, you start seeing it rendered again. So I'm going to put a few of those around here, and then we check it out what it looks like at night. I love this. This is so cool. This looks so magical. This is perfect. I'm really happy. I like the color, and I like it on top of these... whatever, speleothum, and so on. This is really good. I'm digging this. And there's a few up here in the trees, around here and so on, and I'm probably gonna keep going there between episodes to go further. And this is the fastest way for me to do this. Just have it in your offhand, which, by the way, is really good for mining as well. You never need to worry about torches or anything. Is there any more in here? No. I mean, don't get me wrong. These lanterns are a really nice addition to Minecraft. There's another light source. But they just cannot compete with these arcs here. Okay, what does it look like if we come down here? Like, let's put one here. One there. Oh my god, look at this. Together with these trees. Oh my goodness. I love it. Oh yeah, this is gonna be nice. But guys, that is it for today. We got a lot done. A lot of automation. There's so much left to do. Next time, we're definitely gonna get into the Alfheim portal. I'm gonna prepare everything and I'm gonna continue automating all whatever we need, you know, like fishing rods and all this kind of stuff. So I can literally order all these runes that I want. Because that's just going to make life so much easier. And this is what modded Minecraft is about. Automation, 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 right? Okay, this is a little dark over here. Let's come in from there. So I'm pretty sure, by the way, we can test this here once. If I shoot it now, it does go back there. It just needs a solid block. So I cannot shoot it anywhere into the tree, because if I shoot it here, there is no airspace for it to take over, right? So if I make that airspace... Oh, there's a deep one. Right there. And then I fill it up before, so now it has an airspace back there. That spark will stick. Alright, cool. How far does it go? Does it still go super far? Oh, wow. Yeah, it does. Okay, I don't like that, though, because there's no reason for this to be lit up over here until we build something. Anyways, I'm in a lighting frenzy here. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and if you did, please don't forget to hit that like button. It really, really helps out my channel. You guys have no idea. I've been growing nice and steady. I appreciate all your comments and your feedback on my videos. And I try to reply to as many as I can. I read them all. Okay, don't ever think that I'm not reading some comments. I read them all. First thing in the morning when I get up, I check it on my phone. Last thing before I go to bed, I check it on my phone. And all day in between. So every comment that I get really makes me very happy. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.